Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Tab Folder Show. We were trying to do something a little bit different, so we'll thank Camille on that one today. And that's a perfect tie into what we're discussing. We're talking about trust and scamming, and how does that relate to tabs folders? Well, tune in and you'll find out. Anyways, that being said, guys, Camille, give me 1 second. We're gonna switch places, guys. Don't forget this little QR code. If you're on your desktops, go ahead and scan this. That way you guys can follow along regarding all the assets and articles that we'll be discussing and sharing with you today, just like in previous episodes too. So Camille, thank you very much for making that happen. Guys, on that note, that being said, let's go ahead and jump right on in.
Hello, everybody. As Bruce mentioned, Camille Bucala here, CTO and co-founder of Tabs Folders. Today, our show is about trust. But before we get to trust, I wanted to show something we came up with and released in a recent version of Tabs Folders, and that's called context-sensitive or folder-sensitive subfolder search. So we really call it subfolder search, and I think it's an amazing feature that there's already a help page on that I'll show later. But first, I'll do a quick demo of it. Let's switch to my screen here and take a look. Now, previously in tabs folders, you had this drop down, or when we first started, basically search, you just had a search panel and it searched everything. And results came from basically your session history, your open windows, your bookmarks. And when you had a large collection of bookmarks, number one, it was a little bit slower when you just wanted to search, for example, your open windows and tabs. And second, a lot of results came back. So that was kind of the issue. Like the human mind can handle 7 plus or minus 2 things at a time. So if you get search results that have 50 or 100 results, that's kind of a pain, and it doesn't help you much. So we a while ago we limited this or improved the search by allowing you to click specific folders that you wanted to search in. So whether it's your open windows and tabs, bookmarks, session history, or trash. Now we have come up with the next level that is context sensitive or folder specific search. So for example, if now you want to search only in the bookmarks, what you do is you click on bookmarks and the bookmarks folder comes up right here. And then when you type your search, for example, oops, I should learn to type, spell, live stream, there we go, with a space. So you get all the results from the live stream, but that's, again, like 5 or 10 results. Now let's say you know that what you're searching for is actually in your work folder, or in this case, let's call it the tabs folders live stream folder. So what I'd do then is I'd cancel this bookmark folder search and go into the tabs folder live stream, or select the tabs for the live stream folder, and again, type the same search, and now you just get the results from this folder. This in this simple example with not a lot of folders, it maybe seems a little bit trivial, but when you have a large collection, and like I said, for example, you want to search for a YouTube video, and you saved it somewhere in your specific project, but you don't know what folder in that project you saved it. Well, this allows you to first search for that project folder located in your collection, and then search specifically for YouTube just in that folder. Alternatively, let's say you have something like time management, and you have time management folders in different areas of your life. So you'll have your personal time management, your work time management skills, or time management that you're working on with clients. And again, if you just type bookmarks, you'd get results for time management from all those folders, and you'd get 20, 30 results. And so that's not what you're looking for. So what you were looking for is specifically your personal time management. So you'd select the personal folder here and then type, something like time management. But or in this case, let's say it's shopping. So shopping. And again, you get the results for only the current folder. So this is a new feature in tabs folders. 1.3.8, I believe we enabled it fully. And I think this will improve your search results and improve your searching in tabs folders and your productivity within tabs folders going forward. So thank you, guys. That's a quick demo of the new feature. In the previous week, we discussed CNAME. So that was supposed to be delivered, be at the beginning, well, at the end of last year. We just had a bit of about a week later we released it, but we also were working on this because we thought it would be a feature that would really improve searching and improve usability of tabs folders for everybody, not just people who are looking specifically to add CNAME sharing to their tabs folders account. So now going forward into Trust, or Bruce, do you guys have any questions, or are there any questions, comments about this new feature?
Well, one thing I was going to mention to the people who are tuning in, guys, please also leave your comments into the stream. That way we can enter you into the giveaway raffle at the end of the show. So please leave your comments in today's live, just like we have in previous episodes. And that way we'll do the giveaway, because each comment enters you into our lifetime deal giveaway. So drop a thumbs, drop a hello, let Camille know what you think regarding the new feature release. And Chalkter says, hi, this looks great. Chalkter, thanks for joining us this morning.
Likewise. Hello, Chalkter. So I guess moving on, I wanted to, this week's video is a little bit focused on trust. In the previous weeks, we did kind of productivity as it pertains to tasks. Then we moved on to kind of a longer term vision with productivity. And finally, we moved on more to personal productivity, like personal and life skills and business. So taking a more holistic approach as to kind of how you manage your life, let's say, and how you can improve your life. And in this week's show, I wanted to talk a little bit more about one component of networking, life management, etc., and that's trust. Trust is a major factor in how you interact with people, and it has a lot of pluses in every aspect of your life. So to start off, I'm going to play a short video to add some comedy into our show, and then I'll continue with more about trust.
Oh, it just looks like it's getting worse and worse.
So it was a little example of how some people actually might behave this way, but not really a lot of people in life would actually be this trusting and would actually go ahead and give their banking / credit card information right away when they received an email. But we kind of laugh at this, but it all depends on how you look at things, because this is a simple email. They're asking for huge amounts, and it's a funny a YouTuber called Beluga. His kind of target audience is teens, and he makes kind of funny videos. But anyway, he proves an example that you'd think, oh, I'd never do this. I don't trust people, and I don't deal with scammers online, but a lot of people have a hard time, and the scams are not as easy as this. They're a lot more complex, and so some people do get scammed. And so about this, regarding this, I was going to show a quick presentation about trust, and I'll take a look at why people get scammed or how they do a little in the presentation. So let me roll that presentation starting now. There we go. Have a quick overlay here. So trust and competitive advantage, and how we trust and what trust has as a plus for us and as a minus. Levels of trust. We start with nations, interorganizational team, leader follower, and neural processing. In this presentation, we will mostly focus on the last one, which is neural processing, which is kind of the interpersonal trust, how trust works between individuals. But you can see that there's many levels of trust. So with nations, trust with nations, where it has positive and negative effects, thinking a huge negative effect on a global level of trust is when you had the arms race in the communist era, when you had Russia and America building up weapons of mass destruction, nuclear bombs. In essence, the countries didn't trust each other. They were at war, as it was known as the Cold War. And so, because they didn't trust each other, they were spending all this money and resources building weapons that they would actually never use in real life, because it would end the world as we know it. So this shows you kind of the negative effects of trust or the lack of trust. Now, the positive effects are that for example, the European Union. It's a diverse group of countries. People speak different languages, have totally different ideas of how to live life, etc. But yet, because they are in the community, they raise a level of trust between each other, and that has huge economic gains because they have similar laws, a similar tax system, etc. And again, that improves the economy and general welfare. There are many studies around the world that when a country has a much higher trust level, they are generally a lot more successful and wealthy. Which one comes first, whether the country is wealthy and so they have a trust level, or whether they gained a higher trust level and that's why they became wealthy? I don't know if the causality of those study results, but at least we do know that a high level of trust usually is correlated with a wealthy economy and wealthy citizens. So at interorganizational, these concepts apply to basically each of these levels. That between organizations, when you have two companies that don't trust each other, it's very hard to work together. I mean, you have to invite a company, if they're doing some kind of audit for you or some kind of project, you have to trust the people that they won't share the information, etc. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to show them anything. So in teams, it's the same thing. If you trust the other team members in your company that they won't be taking advantage of the information you give them, or playing political games, then the teams in a company work very smoothly. If that trust level isn't there, then people hide information, they hoard data. If they find a solution to a problem that first in the company, they won't share it, because obviously they'll only know about this solution, and they may only share it with the CEO at a whatever, an informal meeting or something, to really not share it with team members earlier, and that has very negative consequences on how a company works. Leader follower, that's more of whether employees trust the leader. And that's the same implication again when people trust somebody, they are willing to do a lot more for that person, versus if they don't, then usually a company is on its way down, that it's going to be performing worse, because people just don't want to follow the leader. And it's essential in a company that it has kind of a, let's say, a person that's steering it in a certain direction, and the vision for the company needs to be adhered to by all the personnel, so that it can have success. And neural processing, so this is the last thing that we'll be continuing, the last level, which is really interpersonal, and it has to do with the little funny video clip I did, that it's one-on-one trust level, and this is what we will be going into in more detail in the next slides. So, next slide was we want to get into a little bit of examples of the lack of trust, how it can be costly, and we have a few examples of that, which is the Wells Fargo fake accounts scandal, Siemens bribery scandal, and Dieselgate recently. These breaches of trust from a company to their clients or to the general public cause really that not only can a company get fines and loss of revenue, obviously, because of that, but also the level of trust causes consumers, for example, with Dieselgate, that they may look for alternative manufacturers. They won't buy a car from Volkswagen, but they can look for other trusted brands, because who knows what else the company is lying about when they try to sell you their car. If they lied about the emissions test, then maybe they're lying about something else in the car. So that lowering that level of trust has an impact on sales, not only on fines and public image, but also directly on sales. Loss of reputation, I just went over these. So fines, loss of reputation, employee turnaround, and restructuring are some of the costs or negative impacts of low trust. Now, what is trust? So trust is perception, intention, and behavior. Perception is, in essence, what you perceive or how you perceive the other party, and that is an input into whether you trust them. So whether you perceive their ability to perform a certain task, their integrity, those are things you use to judge a person, and that judgment creates a certain level of trust in your mind, whether you are going to take a risk with input or putting your time and perhaps money or effort into that relationship. So first you have the perception, then you have the intention of whether you actually, based on that perception, will trust a person, and then you have the behavior that you actually do enter into that relationship with a person because you have trust for them. Next, we have a little trust game. Here's an example of how this works in society. And the previous slide, this is an example about the previous slide, and yet it shows something quite interesting about society. So there's this game that the sender sends, there's two people, a sender and a receiver. You are the sender, and there's another player that you don't know at all. You don't have any contact with that person, and you don't know who they are, etc. The game is that you will send that person $20, and you have $20, and you can either keep that $20, the receiver gets zero, or you send $20 to the receiver, and the receiver gets then $60 as per the game. When the receiver gets the $60, they have a choice. They can either send $30 back to you or keep the $60. And there's nothing, basically, there's no checks. Nobody will verify whether the receiver kept that money or sent it back to you, whether it won't be public or anything. And logically, you would think that, first of all, as the sender, you shouldn't send the money because, well, you have $20 and you could get $30, but if you don't know the person that you're sending the money to, how can you guarantee that they will send any of that money back to you? I mean, you can't. And so logically, you would say, I don't know the person. Why would I risk sending $20 to that person? I mean, obviously, I could make $10 if they send the money back, but I don't know this. So it's a very high risk scenario, and you only gain $10, so you have a chance of losing $20. So logically, it doesn't make sense. However, studies point to the fact that surprisingly, a lot of people, up to, I believe, almost 50% from one study, will actually send the $20. So it's very surprising how people approach trust in various situations. And this was part of the video, how some people can get scammed because they don't approach every trust decision logically the way they should think about it. That if they don't know a person, they don't validate where the information is coming from, who this person is, etc., etc., and so they get scammed. But so this is an example of, again, the trust game, and a real example, study-based example of human psychology. How sometimes we trust too much because, in general, in life, in society, we find that when we are trusting, again, it has huge benefits. That if as I mentioned previously in the presentation, when we trust somebody in a business situation, etc., it allows you to actually have huge gains and move a lot faster because you're not roadblocked by certain, by lack of trust, where again you have to keep things hidden, don't allow access to users, to people for certain documents, etc. So now let's move on to the next slide.
Camille, real quick, we had some questions coming up,
yeah.
so let's go ahead and answer those.
Go ahead. I'll get rid of the next slide. Yep.
So Choctor asks, is there any way to search for certain file types? Choctor, just so you know, you're basically saving URL links, website page URLs, not specific file types. It's not like Norton Commander. It's not like File Explorer where you are, or Dropbox where you're saving specific files in the cloud. So I hope that helps answers your question. Sujit asks, is there a way to choose where we save the URL without necessarily going to organize? Is there a default location to save files, like a default folder?
Actually, well, why don't I show my screen, share my tabs folder screen. So yeah, when you actually click, let's open a page here. Let's say support. Or maybe I'll start with tabs folders and then click on support, just for everybody in case you're wondering how to get to our support page. And earlier I mentioned that we did searching in folders. So searching in selected subfolders. Here's the support article. And so let's say you want to save this support article into a specific folder. So when you click on the tabs folders icon, you have the save button. There's a drop down here that when you click on that triangle drop down icon, you have more options here. So you can store this tab to the last used folder, or store this tab to a new folder. So basically you click store this tab to a new folder, and here you can actually save you can select the folder that you want to save to. So this is, bookmarks, and then you can click on the subfolders, right, like this, or you can just type in search. So let's say you type trust, and here we go, how to trust cameras. Now you have selected the subfolder, you just click save, and tabs folders save this bookmark into your into the folder that you selected. So you can save without, let's say, bringing up the organize window or the tabs folders window first. Mind you, when you do save, it actually switches to the tabs folders window because the save dialog is from the tabs folders window currently. But again, this allows you to, just click on the save button and save to a specific folder.
Now does it say, if you choose a specific folder, does it stay that folder until you decide to change it later?
Exactly, it does.
Perfect.
So when you store to a new folder, that's the trust scammers folder. Now, when we would open something, a new window, or a new box, whatever, Google testing. Let's do a Google search for testing, software Wikipedia testing. So now I'd go save and select store this tab to last used folder. And we go back to tabs folders, and there we go. You see the bookmark that's stored in the last folder you saved to. We have software testing in that folder.
Right. Helpful.
Great. So that's how you save without going to the tabs folders window first. You can save to the last saved to folder.
So, Sujit, I hope that answers your question. Thank you very much for dropping your question today. Let's see. We have some. Thank you for joining us. Hello, hello. Mads asks, "Is this a competitor to Tab Extend?" Yes, I guess that's kind of like a fair question to say. Yeah.
Yes.
But you can see there's a lot more organization, structure, compartmentalization, search options that are just maybe a step above compared to some of the competition. Chalkter says, "I think it's similar to Toby. I guess because it deals with bookmarks to a degree, a little bit."
Both, Bruce. Yeah, Toby and Tab Extend are both also bookmark managers, and so is tabs folders. We just choose to approach it in a different way. That we're taking the approach of what everybody is used to, which is kind of a file management interface, just like Dropbox, Google Drive, Mac OS, and Windows. It's that interface of of managing information in a tree structure. And that's been, I guess, used for 30, 40 years almost by computers and people who use computers. And so far, it seems to be the most efficient method we know of for managing large amounts of information. That with Kanban-style interfaces, they're kind of easy to manage or drag and drop folders from one folder to another for small amounts of bookmarks. With tabs folders, you can really manage, hundreds of thousands of bookmarks in minutes with a kind of tree structured interface.
And which I should put out there that I've tried doing that with Chrome, and Chrome has actually corrupted some of my structure in the past, which was annoying, and I lost years worth of research. But hey, at least that's nice to have something like tab folders that you could back up all of your data and all of your links and all your research that you save over the years. It just makes sense that you have a third-party tool to help you out with that. Henry, thank you for joining us today. Appreciate that. I forgot how to pronounce your name. I'm sorry. From last week. Does search work?
I think it's Chenna.
Chenna. Does search work with the URL also, or just the bookmark name?
Currently, it's the bookmark name that it's searching. But I think we will be adding the URL. But actually, well, let me verify, because honestly, maybe I'm wrong. So let me get into show the window again here, and let's validate this live. So Wikipedia, scammers, YouTube. Let's see what we could search here. Shift F2, by the way, edits a URL. So here we have a URL from TED.com. So the name of the talk is Trust Morality. Okay, we have TED Talk as well, so that won't help us. But software testing Wikipedia. Well, actually, why don't we simply do is edit this TED Talk, rename. We get rid of the TED Talk, and let's see if tabs folders will find this. So let's select the folder, type TED, and there you go. It does find it. So we do search URLs. Just validating. I mean, I've always, as you see in most cases, the URL is actually contained in the title. Pardon my lack of remembering this one, but yes. So we do search URLs and the description or the name of the actual title of the website.
Perfect. So that's helpful for not just Chenna, but a lot of people who prefer, defining specific articles from, let's say, a specific website or domain. So appreciate that.
I guess, yeah, this would come in handy. For example, if you have something like a Google Drive document, and I'm not sure, I don't have any handy at the moment, how Google Drive saves the title of a document. But if it doesn't have Drive or in the title, then you might want to search for a specific Google Drive document, and you don't know what it's called. So here you would then type, Google Drive, drive.google.com. And okay, so I don't have any Google Drive documents here, but in essence, if you typed even google.com, you'd get the results from all your Google links, Google documents. And then you could click, for example, your work folder or a specific project in the work folder, and then type Google, and boom, you'd find the title of the document that you're actually looking for.
Perfect. Chenna, hope that answers your question. Thank you for joining us today. Laura, and this is a little education question too. Does it use a lot of resources in Chrome? Okay, so first, before we talk about the Chrome extension, let's talk about the base coding for the browser. Guys, just so you know, Chrome has had a memory leak for years. And I know this because if you use the same Chromium base, but you use a modified fork version, for example, a perfect example is Microsoft Edge Chrome, right? It's just Microsoft Edge. It looks like the blue-green wave. Not only does the tab folders extension work with that, but Microsoft Edge Chrome uses anywhere from 30 to 50% less RAM at any given time compared to Google Chrome. I've switched over to I've switched from Google Chrome over to Microsoft Edge Chrome because Google Chrome continues to have that memory leak where it's just bloated use of RAM and it causes your computer to slow down. I've encouraged all my customers, let's say they have a lot of Windows 7 computers and they only have like 4 gigabytes of RAM. I've had them all convert over to Microsoft Edge Chrome just because it just saves that much more in RAM. It keeps the computer running faster. So that's number one, FYI. Now, Camille, what about the use of resources of the Chrome extension itself, whether it be, let's say, inside Chrome or Microsoft Edge Chrome?
Okay, so with this, we kind of had a choice to make. You could make the extension run from the server and just use JavaScript, but then when you lost connectivity with the internet, you couldn't organize your items as well as searching. As you saw with the searches, I hope it came through on the videos that in essence they're instant. Now, this is because we actually store the bookmarks on your local computer, and it doesn't have to go out to the server, do a search on the server, and then come back with the results. So that actually uses resources on your computer, but it gives you improved speed when you're working with tabs folders, doing searches, dragging and dropping, etc. The tabs folders works a lot faster. So it's a question. Yes, obviously the extension does use more resources than the base Chrome, because you're running something on top of Chrome.
Right.
And I guess depending on how fast your computer is and how many bookmarks you have, if you have 200 folders like we have in the demo tabs folders kind of demo account here, then it's basically it shouldn't use a lot of resources at all. But once you get into thousands of bookmarks, then yes, it will use some resources, and you have to gauge based on the speed of your computer whether you really have to test it out as to does your computer have enough resources to actually work with this extension or any other extension, which basically works on top of Chrome and takes more resources than just Chrome itself.
Here's a good blog post. Let's say during testing, we look up from a very fresh install of Google Chrome and a very fresh install of Microsoft Edge Chrome, and then we install the tab folders extension on both browsers, and then we'll run tab extension manager or the browser manager, right? We can see from inside each manager, how does Microsoft Edge Chrome interact, and then what does the tab folder extension use in terms of RAM, and then check and see the Google Chrome version, right? And we'll see how does each browser interact with each extension, and then we'll report back to you guys to let you know which extension interacts with which browser. And so we'll see if the extension sizes are bigger or smaller depending on which browser that you're using. So I think that would be a good test, because there might be some people who have very limited amounts of RAM who might want to use, for example, they may need to switch over to Microsoft Edge Chrome. They just need to make sure that it's the footprint of the extension is also small within Microsoft Edge Chrome, because they may switch over, right? If that base footprint goes from 90 megabytes to 55, that may be a big deal for some people.
Yes. Well, one thing I should also mention, I mean, the additional processing that tabs folder work, like I mentioned, on top of Chrome, let's say, will slow any computer down a little bit. But there's other positives that, for example, if you have a lot of tabs open, we have automated snooze functionality that. Let me put my screen up. So right now, when you have the open Windows tabs folders here, you can select each of these tabs by yourself and click snooze, or you can select the whole. Let me move them to another window. So let's create a new window. Oops, I want a new window, sorry. Create, there we go. We have a new window with a new tab. Now we move these tabs to a new window. You can select the whole window. And first, let's reload the tabs because they were snoozed. So as you saw, I snoozed the tabs in the one window. I moved them to another window and they were still snoozed. And then now, when they are reloaded, tabs folders knows that they have been reloaded, and you can click snooze again to snooze them. So this is manual, that you can do this even at this open windows and tabs level, and you can snooze all your open windows in all tabs just to reduce resources. So this will make your computer run a lot faster. But tabs folders actually does this automatically, and when you go into options, you can configure how tabs folders does this. So by default, snoozing is off, but you can turn it off, that after 20 seconds, 1 minute, 3 days, whatever, have a lot of options. You can tabs folders will snooze unused tabs for you. And so this should really speed up your computer, because each window uses CPU power, memory, and resources of the operating system that actually slow down your computer. So you can open a lot more tabs and snooze them, and your computer should still keep running fast with tabs folders.
And someone said interesting, and thank you for your comment. And I wish that comment could actually enter you into our giveaway at the end of the live stream. But unfortunately, you have not given StreamYard permission to capture your name and your photo, because if you win, I don't know who to list as Facebook user as the winner. So please give StreamYard permissions. You'll see down here on the ticker tape scrolling on the bottom how to give StreamYard permissions. So thank you for joining us in the comment. Appreciate that. Let's move on to the next. Let's move on to the next one, which we just saw. This. Can you drag a tab directly into a folder from within the Chrome extension? Yes, and then from outside the Chrome extension, yes, as well.
Yes, for both. And let me just, Bruce, can you? I'll add it to the stream. There we go. So you have a Chrome extension here. I mean, the open tabs are on the right, or well, right on left, you have the two folders. So this is the open windows and tabs. And all I do, let's say software testing, let's pick a different folder here. I'll just drag and drop software testing, and boom, you've just saved the bookmark from an open window with drag and drop. So you can do this. There's actually 3 or 4 ways to actually save a tab as a bookmark. Drag and drop is the first one. Then I mentioned when you click on the tabs folders icon, you can save an individual tab. You can store the whole window, or you can store all windows, which is basically saving your whole session. Alternatively, when you actually open a tab, for example, let's take speed test, or maybe no, let's do another Google testing, same we did before, but let's check something else. Community-based COVID. COVID seems to be popular these days. Don't know why. So yeah, I mean, okay, COVID testing. I wasn't going to get into medical stuff, so let's do software testing. Software testing software. So let's boom. Here's a link. Atlassian, and the last way is when you right-click on a folder, you have a tabs folders menu here, and you can do the same thing: store to default tabs, store to new tabs, etc. So you have 3. Those are 3 ways with clicking.
By the way, Camille, did you right-click on the browser? Because we don't actually see the right-click menu.
Yes, I did right-click. Okay, so you guys don't see the menu. So sorry, when you right-click, there's a tabs folders sub-menu in the right-click menu. And there, again, you can choose to save your tab or the whole window. And finally, when you go into tabs folders options, you can actually create keyboard shortcuts. And here, with a keyboard shortcut to store the current window or store only this tab with a keyboard shortcut. So there's actually 4 ways that you can save tabs or windows in tabs folders.
We should have a blog with photos or videos that show that as well.
I believe there's a help article, but yeah, a blog entry / support. I think we have quite a few. If you go on our YouTube page, there's quick tutorial videos on tabs folders, and these things are outlined there in the videos, as well as the support articles. So thank you, Bruce, for that suggestion. Yeah.
What we should do is also include that in the right above Praveen's head. We have the QR code. We should probably list some of those support YouTube links as to how are the multiple ways that you can save links in tabs folders. There you go.
This way.
There you go. You're going to get it right. Yeah. Okay, next one. So, Musam, thank you very much for joining us. Hello, sir. Mr. Steven asks, it seems like for mobile, I can only save bookmarks, but not access my saved bookmarks. Am I wrong about this?
Yes. Well, you are, let's say, wrong, but as in you can access bookmarks on mobile, and I can show you how. So first of all, you can save bookmarks with the bookmarklet. That's any browser that's perhaps not supported, like Safari currently on macOS. You can install the bookmarklet and still click it to save bookmarks. And what will happen is they will go into this folder here, mobile bookmarks. So we call it the mobile bookmarklet. And any bookmarks that you save from mobile using the bookmarklet or from an unsupported browser will go into here. You can call it an inbox. But to actually and to install the mobile bookmarklet, here's the big button that will show you the instructions. There you go. We have a desktop, Opera Mini, Android browser. But you can access tabs folders through on mobile devices. You can actually access and search your collection by going to tabsfolders.com and clicking Access Bookmarks. When you click that, it actually opens this kind of browser or web app view, and you can search for your bookmarks. So live stream, and here you can. It's not as extensive as the browser plugin, but you can search and you can open your bookmarks from any browser, and that includes mobile browsers. So
Perfect. Awesome. Thank you very much, Camille, for that. Steve, I hope that answers your question. Sam asks, can we get a suggestion from the saved bookmarks while trying in case we forget the website name or category that it has been saved in? In other words, he's probably thinking of like an autofill, I'm guessing.
Auto suggest. Well, what I can say is actually, let me, Bruce, if you can, or I'll add my screen again.
Sure.
Basically, after 3 typed letters, so I'm searching in a specific folder. 1 sec. So here, live. There we go. When you type just 3 letters, tabs folders right away does the search. So it's not giving you like search suggestions specifically, but it's actually returning the results already. So with just 3 letters, if you don't really know what you're looking for, you can get results. And as I was saying previously here, you can search in Open Windows and Tabs, Bookmarks, your session history, or your trash folder. If you select all of these, basically you get results from all of them. So if you don't know kind of what you're looking for, this is a way to do that in tabs folders. Because it would be possible to do something like Google, but as you probably know, Google uses a lot of AI to enable that search. That it's not only the search suggestion has a huge server backend that generates suggestions based on what you type, what people have searched before. So currently, we don't have those resources to be able to run on your computer. But with just 3 letters, I think that gives you enough to kind of get the results that if you don't know what you're looking for, it will pop up based on just 3 letters.
Which, in a way, it's not bad. You're getting real-time results back with minimal data entry. So, yeah, Sam, I hope that helps you in terms of looking for some suggestions based on, typing a few letters there. Sam's follow-up question, is there any way that we can share with families and friends an entire collection from tab folders? Well, you could do, like, let's say, share a folder, right? And that folder could have other subfolders and other links in it. Anything else we want to add to that?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to say entire collection, let's put up my screen again, Bruce.
Sure.
So let's say you want to share your entire collection of bookmarks. So in the interface, you can actually share the bookmarks folder, but what you can do is create a new folder, say my entire collection. You copy and paste all of your folders. Oops, hold on a sec. Cut and paste it into my entire collection. So now your entire collection is in this folder, and what you do is you right-click, share this folder, and boom, you can share it. And when you open this share, when you send it to your family and friends, boom, your whole collection is here. Sports, sorted, shared, everything is in your collection. And if your family wants to import that collection into their own tabs folders and work with that collection, when you open it on a different account, you'll have a button here that says import bookmarks.
So
So
really
that's how you would share your entire collection.
There you go. Sam really appreciated your walkthrough. There you go. Sam, thank you very much for the question as well. Musam asks, sorry, join late. Do you have a native Android app?
No, currently we don't have a native Android app. You can run it in there's a browser, Kiwi browser, that actually runs Chrome extensions on Android. So you can run tabs folders within Kiwi, but you need a bigger screen currently. I mean, if you minimize, you only use one window, you can actually get by and work with the extension. But tabs folders isn't yet optimized for Android/mobile devices that we don't have an app. That is coming later this year after we release tabs folders 2.0 in April, where we revamp the whole UI and add notes, tags, and team folder sharing. We will be working on improving our mobile experience. That we plan to have apps on both iOS and Android.
There you go. Chinna also asks, shared folders like shared link in this video also need search function. It would be helpful.
Do you mean that when I share a folder like we have here, when I actually go to the share, that you would like to be able to search it here?
I think that's exactly what he's referring to.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we can work on that. I guess this share is more. Yeah, you're right. I guess for a quick interface, because normally when you access, like I mentioned before, this from a different account, you can just with one button click to import it to your own tabs folders collection and then search it. But it's a very good comment or feedback for a feature upgrade that to add searching on the share.
I totally agree with you on that.
Thank you.
I totally agree with you. Okay, next one. Chalkter asks, could you suggest how we sync the bookmarks with the Google Chrome or with Bing? Bing.
So in tabs folders 2.0,
maybe he's talking about Google Chrome or more Microsoft Edge browser.
That's what I think he's referring to. I mean, you don't like the Bing browser. I mean, you're not really syncing bookmarks with. Well, no, hold on.
No. So Bing is the old browser, I think. So with Microsoft Edge, which is the new Chrome compatible browser from Microsoft and Google. So currently you can import from them, but in tabs folders 2.0, we are making a bidirectional sync feature that you will be able to sync import from Chrome or Edge and export out to Chrome or Edge. Currently, you would import your bookmarks from Chrome or Edge by clicking on the tabs folders menu, and you would select import bookmarks from Edge in this case, or import bookmarks. you guys actually don't see the menu, the pop-up menu,
you don't see the Chrome
unfortunately.
extension pop up. Yep.
Yes. So so anyway, when you click on the Chrome icon in your, on the tabs folders icon in your browser, a menu pops up, and there's one of the menu items is import bookmarks from Edge, and if you're using Chrome, that it would say Chrome, or import bookmarks from a file, and from a file that's like an HTML bookmark file, which, for example, Safari, if you save your bookmark collection from Safari, it saves it to an HTML file, and you can import that file into tabs folders to import your collection.
Perfect. And I think people don't understand that having that two-way real-time sync will come in very beneficially, especially for those who might be migrating over, because they don't know that they could. They don't know of, like, for example, Microsoft Edge Chrome, but that would be really helpful to have, a faster browser with less RAM with real-time sync between, Microsoft Edge, and the account that you sign up with that browser, and then sync it with tabs folders at the same time.
But you can do this currently. All you have to do is move your collection into tabs folders. So let's say you're using Chrome and you want to move your collection to Microsoft Edge. You install Chrome on both, install tabs folders on Chrome and on Microsoft Edge. And on Chrome, you click import bookmarks. And those bookmarks are automatically synced to tabs folders on Microsoft Edge. So you can do this currently with tabs folders.
Perfect.
And they're just not synced to the Edge kind of storage of bookmarks or the Chrome store of bookmarks. They're managed in tabs folders, but you can do that currently already. So
okay. There you go. Chenna says, when we start typing in the URL section, Chrome does not give a suggestion. Chrome does give a suggestion of saved bookmarks. Can bookmarks be saved in tabs folders that also show up in suggestions? Does Chrome allow this? Actually, Chenna, we were kind of just giving you a brief example. As long as you type in 3 letters, it's real-time search results. So in a way, it's kind of suggestive based on 3 characters that you may type. That can either be found via URL or via bookmarks.
I think what he's actually saying is not within the tabs folders extension, but in the Chrome URL itself, where you type in the www. He's asking if you type something there, will the bookmarks from the tabs folders be shown as the suggestions?
So at this point, I will verify this, but I'm not sure that actually extensions have access to that Chrome bar through the API. So I'll have to validate this, but I don't believe they do. What you can do as a workaround, if we plan to add this feature, is do the reverse. Let's say that we could try a search in tabs folders, and it returns the results from your bookmarks, and then it can actually go out and do a search on the web, a Google search on the web, and return those results as well. So that's an option for adding, a search, a better search to tabs folders, where it searches your collection as well as Google. But I will validate or verify with our development team as to whether the Chrome extension bar or the URL bar, URL text entry field is actually editable and accessible. I will validate that with the development team, but I'm kind of 80% sure at this point that it isn't. So that's the answer.
All right, that's okay. Shannon, thank you very much for the question. Sam asks, can we export bookmarks from Edge to Chrome or vice versa? Well, technically, we could think of just using tabs folders as a depository for your import and export of URLs. So think of, let's say you're migrating from Chrome to Edge, which is common nowadays. You could take the files that are, or the URLs inside Chrome, and inside tabs folders, you could do an import from Chrome into tabs folders, right? So great. You're using tab folders is like your transfer tool, but it's acting as a depository. Then you open up the same tab folders extension inside Edge, and then you can say, for example, export. So once you open up tab folders inside Edge, you can click export. That'll
No,
create
so
an
Bruce,
export file,
let
and then yeah.
me correct you. There is no export currently to Edge, so we can't export into the Edge bookmarks, because that's the whole point kind of tabs folders, that you use tabs folders now to manage your bookmarks, not the browser. Because at this point we have bookmarks, let's say, as you see in tabs folders 1.0, but in tabs folders 2.0, we are adding notes and tags and labels to each bookmark, and then you can't sync those to the browsers because the browsers don't have these features at all. So you could export kind of the base bookmarks, but you'd lose all your notes and all this other metadata, or other information that you added to the bookmark. So the point of tabs folders is that it's a better management tool for bookmarks, and that's the key repository where you store your bookmarks, and you can access and manage them in any browser, or in any Chrome-based browser, and as I mentioned, soon on mobile later this year.
Well, it would be helpful to have some sort of an export function, especially for businesses who, let's say, can't use certain Chrome extensions long term, but maybe they need to use it short term to just import a mass amount of, let's say, 500,000 previously structured or organized folders of links, right? So, Sam, thank you very much for the comment, and that's something that we'll talk about after the show. Let's see what else. Sam asks, to access the bookmarks shared from tab folders, do the other person also need to have a tabs folders account? Technically, no.
No, not the shared bookmarks. The shared bookmarks is a web link, and it shows a list of all the folders, and you can access them, click them, open them. It's kind of more a one at a time, that you don't get the extra benefits of tabs folders. That in tabs folders you can select 5 or 10 bookmarks and open all of them at the same time. From the share, you can kind of open them one at a time. But yes, but you do have full access to to all the shared bookmarks, that you can open them in your whatever browser you use.
Sam, thank you very much for the question. Marie has a comment. Clearly stopped working for me from AmSumo, but this looks like a good replacement. Thank you very much for the kind words. And Camille, take that as a pat on the back, sir.
Definitely, Marie. We've been around since 2014. And as I mentioned, some other places haven't had a single incident of data loss. We have a lot of redundancy built into the system. And so we've been around for 6 years, working steadily. We look forward to working on tabs folders for the next 15, 20 years to keep on improving it and delivering service.
There you go. Sam asks, is there a way that we can add members in my workspace?
In April, in tabs folders 2.0, you will be able to do this.
There you go. Peter, new commenter, thank you for joining us. Can we back up to something like Google Sheets or Dropbox in case anything should ever happen to tabs folders? Worst case scenario.
Of course. And let me again add my screen here.
Sure.
To the stream. Hello, Peter. So to back up your bookmarks, again, you right-click, select your bookmarks folder, right-click and select export, and boom, your whole collection of bookmarks is exported to a JSON file, and that has not only the URL information, etc., but the way the subfolders, folders, subfolders, and the date, timestamps, etc., that are kept internal for in tabs folders, so that when we import them back, we have all that information. So this is in essence your backup file that you can store anywhere: Google Drive, Dropbox, your local computer, and have a secondary backup of all your information. because as we were mentioning with clearly, I guess that it stopped working for somebody. So with tabs folders, you can have a full backup of all your data locally. So there's a full level of trust that you have your own copy. We obviously back up. We have a whole backup schedule of 7 days rollback, etc. But it's both. We want to have that level of trust. As per today's presentation, we want to we want our users to trust us, and therefore we allow you to or we have the export functionality so that you can feel safe that your data you have your data on your personal backups.
And just so you guys know, we talked about this earlier, which was also a little bit of a surprise to me. Camille's previous experience is from fintech, right, from the financial space. So
Yes.
of course that just goes to show you like the extra layer of protection and redundant, I don't want to say redundant, but backup services that are put into place to prevent data loss, which again, not a lot of companies can say that in the Chrome extension space that they've never lost customers' data. So put that out there. Not only Camille, use that as a feather in your cap, but also to everyone out there. If you're looking for a tab extension or a Chrome extension that won't lose your data, in the years that Tab Folders has been in operation, they've never lost anyone's data. So there you go.
Exactly. Yeah. So a little bit of a backup. I mean, I used to a long time ago build banking system servers, and transactions of billions of dollars were going through the software that I helped write. So you had different standards there that they were triple tested, many backup systems and redundancies, because if a system lost data, that was real money that it was losing, and you could lose millions or billions of dollars if you had the wrong code. So it's a different attitude that I have towards data and the value of data, because in essence, when you buy an extension like tabs folders, frankly, at $19, and at the end of the month, the price will be going up. But $19, when you look at how much your time, the value of your time is worth a lot more than that. So the time you put into managing your collection of bookmarks and your data, we want to ensure that it's double, tripled, and quadrupled backup, because it's worth a lot more than what you pay for tabs folders.
Couldn't agree with you more, sir. Appreciate that. And then we'll end today with Chenna's last comment, if that's okay with you, Camille. Because guys,
Sure.
we're over an hour, or an hour and 10 minutes. So thank you for all of you that have been sticking with us throughout the whole time. Chenna asks, when bidirectional real-time sync comes out, suggestions and URLs should also show up /work, because tab folders bookmarks will get created and updated with the browser also.
Yes. So when we sync back to the browser, then yes, Google will be searching that collection, and they should be popping up. So thank you, Chenna, for that comment. But yes, so that in essence we have to sync, so you don't get access to the Chrome bar, but by copying your data into the Chrome bookmark database, you will make it available for Google for Google Chrome or Edge to search that collection for you. So looking forward to adding that functionality.
And the same would apply to Edge when the two-way sync shows up there. As Microsoft will use the Azure cloud, their AI to search and index through your bookmarks as well. So when you type up something within the URL, it'll act like a search for your existing bookmarks also once the two-way sync starts working.
Yes.
Some, you're going to be the last question for sure. Can I regroup or rearrange my existing Chrome bookmarks once I install tab folders bookmarks to have management of saved links? Well, I guess not really. I mean, you're kind of taking the Chrome bookmarks and like Camille said earlier, you're using tabs folders to be your new bookmark depository. I mean, that's kind of the point. And 2.0 will have all those extra added features that we've covered in previous episodes: notes, tags, and a lot of that you won't be able to have that inside the Chrome browser or inside the Edge browser. It's going to be missing data. So even your search options will be incomplete inside Edge or inside Chrome because they won't have notes associated with certain URLs or certain folders. They won't have tags, meta tags associated with certain URLs or folders.
But if I may take that question on, add to that, Bruce,
Sure.
you will be able to rearrange. So let's say you import your bookmarks from Chrome. You can use tabs folders to rearrange your bookmarks. And when we have bidirectional sync, they will be synced back to your Chrome browser. You just, as Bruce mentioned, you'll lose all the other information like the notes and the tags. You'll get half of, I think, what you're looking for, or perhaps if you're just looking to reorganize your bookmarks, your Chrome bookmarks, and organize them into however you see fit, reorganize them, then yes, you will be able to reorganize them, and then in Tabs Folders 2.0 sync them back to Chrome. But the point is, as Bruce mentioned, that you will be working and keeping the main store of information in Tabs Folders.
As it should be, right? Because as you start to work with your teammates and you start to collab on certain folders, or you have companies that are organizing certain folders, let's say based on departments, guys, you're going to want to move out more from Edge and you're going to want to move out more from Chrome. You're going to want to live more in tab folders specifically because of those collaborative features. So keep that in mind, because I'm assuming you probably work with colleagues, friends, or contractors or fellow employees. More and more, those extra features are not going to be built into the browser. So keep that in mind too.
Yes, I was going to comment on that, Bruce, that browsers are by Google and Microsoft, whatever. These are huge companies, and they build a browser to appeal to everybody around the world who uses a computer, in essence. So they have to really pick the features and limit other features, or handpick the features that apply to everybody, versus at Tabs Folders, we're targeting more information or heavy users of bookmarks, users who store a lot of information and they need the extra features, and we can deliver those extra features a lot faster than Google or Microsoft, because we're not delivering to the whole world. We are delivering to a specific user base that has specific needs.
There you go. So, guys, I hope that answers all your questions. Thank you for the flurry of questions that has been going on today. Appreciate it. And you guys have stuck with us for the last hour and 15 minutes. Holy crap, nonstop. We appreciate that, guys. Thank you. Wow. All right, guys. So let's wrap it up with today's giveaway, if you're all right with that.
Go ahead.
All right. I'm going to share the screen here. Perfect. Here we go, guys. Thank you all for joining us. Let's see who's today's winner is. I forgot to get the drum roll. We'll have that next week. Really love the entire session. Henry! Congrats, Henry. I saw him chime in to say hello briefly.
Hello, Henry. Good to see you online again.
Sujit, very interesting discussion. Lots of knowledge to share, that's for sure. Thank you. Absolutely. Okay, so let's talk about that real quick, Henry. And this goes to everyone else in the future. If you win our live streams, what you're going to do is you're going to contact us on the Facebook page. Just Facebook search Tabs Folders and just reach out to us there on Messenger chat. And then one of us will get back to you with your code and then how to redeem your lifetime deal license.
And of course, when you're on there, join the Facebook page and the Facebook group.
There you go. And there you go. Chenna, totally agree with you. Good stream. Very informative today as well. Guys.
Thank you, Chenna.
Let's wrap that up. Don't forget the resources and assets to all of today's links and slides are up there by Praveen's head at the QR code. So if you're watching this on a replay or on your desktop, for that second screen experience, just take your phone and just scan the QR code there. On that note, folks, everyone keep social distancing in mind, wash your hands, and stay safe, and we'll see you guys all next week.
Congrats,
See you
Henry.
next week. Thank you guys for
Bye,
watching
everyone.
and joining us. Have a good one. See you.
There, guys.